On International Human Rights Day, the streets of The Hague, Netherlands, became the latest battleground for Baloch voices seeking global attention. Outside the Dutch parliament, activists from the Baloch National Movement accuse Pakistan of running a decades-long campaign of repression in resource-rich Balochistan, one marked by enforced disappearances, extrajudicial killings, and the silencing of dissent. As Islamabad projects itself as a responsible global actor, protesters say the reality on the ground tells a far darker story. The protest, organized by the Baloch National Movement, unfolded just steps away from Europe's political heart. Placards and banners detailed what demonstrators called systematic human rights violations carried out by Pakistani security forces in Balochistan. Violations, they say, have persisted unchecked for decades. Protesters at the rally accused the Pakistani state of targeting political workers, students, teachers, and ordinary civilians under the guise of security operations.
A nationwide struggle is for independent Balochistan from Pakistani occupation. For decades, international groups such as Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch have reported serious concerns in Balochistan, including restrictions on political freedom, limitations on expression, and cases of enforced disappearance. These reports highlight a pattern of actions by the Pakistani state that deeply affect the daily lives, dignity, and security of Baloch nation. Human rights are universal and unconditional. Every person is entitled to safety, justice, opportunity, and the freedom to speak without fear. Yet, many Baloch families continue to live under heavy surveillance, limited representation, and fear of reprisals for raising their voices. These realities show why international community must pay closer attention to the situation in Balochistan. The global community must call on Pakistan to uphold the international human rights obligations, ensuring transparency, accountability, and the protection of rights of Baloch nation.
Human rights organizations have repeatedly flagged Balochistan as one of South Asia's most militarized and least transparent regions. Activists claim thousands have vanished into Pakistan's security apparatus, with families left in limbo for years, receiving neither information nor justice. Protesters say the repression has now extended beyond men. Women and even minors, they allege, are increasingly becoming targets. The rally also drew attention to the mothers and sisters of the disappeared, women who have staged months-long sit-ins in Shal, Karachi, and even Islamabad. Braving extreme heat, cold, and rain, they hold photographs of loved ones who never returned. Yet protesters say their peaceful protests are met with arrests, intimidation, and fresh disappearances. Activists such as Maharang Baloch and members of the Baloch Jagjati Committee, they allege, have been detained and slapped with fabricated charges simply for demanding accountability.
For years, the people of Balochistan have been picked up without reason. They have been kept in the torture cells for Pakistan from decades. Students, doctors, activists, gone. Families spend their lives searching for answers that never come. Mothers hold one photo for 10 years, for 15 years, for 20 years, but no answers. That is our reality. That is the reality of Balochistan. That is the reality the world keeps ignoring. No community should have this fear of speaking. No community should have the fear of expressing their identity or simply demanding their human rights. Yet in Balochistan, fear has become normal. Pain has become normal. We are tired of being told to stay quiet. We are tired of our sufferings being treated as if they don't exist. Human rights mean nothing if they don't apply to everyone, including Balochistan.
Beyond disappearances, protesters accused Pakistan of carrying out drone attacks, village raids, and military operations that have devastated civilian life. They warned that constant fear, surveillance, and economic marginalization have pushed many in Balochistan into despair, with mental health crisis and suicides on the rise. Despite these allegations, protesters said Balochistan remains conspicuously absent from global human rights day agendas. The United Nations and major powers, they argue, continue to look away, prioritizing strategic ties with Islamabad over accountability. The message from The Hague was unambiguous. Protesters called on democratic governments and international institutions to pressure Pakistan to meet its international human rights obligations, demanding transparency, accountability, and an end to what they describe as collective punishment of the Baloch people. As Pakistan continues to deny allegations and restrict independent access to Balochistan, activists warn that silence from the global community only emboldens further abuses.